I need to tell you something important, something that hasn't let me sleep for the past 72 hours. Something that fundamentally changes everything we thought we knew about. I'm not speaking as a science popularizer chasing sensational headlines. I'm speaking as a theoretical physicist who has studied the laws of our universe for 5 decades. And I'm telling you, these laws are being violated in ways we could not have imagined. 3 days ago, on October 20, 2025, the James Space Telescope completed a crucial analysis of 3ATS at its closest approach to perihelion. This was meant to be a routine task. The data came back, the team saw the results, and immediately convened an emergency meeting. I was on that very call, and what I heard made my blood run cold. We were wrong about 3 Atlas, not slightly wrong, catastrophically wrong, because the object is not hollow as suggested. It is slowing down in violation of the laws of physics. But the truth is far more unusual and far more terrifying than anyone was prepared to accept. The telescope detected something that should not exist. Inside the hollow cavity, there is an energy signature, a coherent electromagnetic field operating at frequencies that have no known cosmic source. This is not scattered radiation and not random fluctuations. We are talking about structured radiation, repeating with high precision every 11.3 hours, synchronized with the rotation of the object. Let me be very clear about what this means. In modern astrophysics and our complete understanding of how the universe functions, there is simply no known natural process capable of producing coherent fields with this level of organization. Pulsars emit radiation in beams. Magnetars generate powerful magnetic fields. But these are chaotic, violent, entropic processes caused by stellar collapse and extreme physics. What discovered in 3ATS is the opposite. It is ordered, stable, and operates efficiently, implying intentional design. The signal operates primarily in the extremely low frequency range from 3 to 30 K. This is critically important because these frequencies can penetrate rock, ice, and cosmic dust with minimal attenuation. For a communication system operating over interstellar distances, this frequency range is the optimal choice. Physics itself dictates this. And here is what troubles me most of all. The output power is substantial, approximately 2-3 megawatts continuously. This is equivalent to the electricity consumption of a small city sustained over thousands of years of interstellar travel. Where does this energy come from? Radioactive decay of uranium or thorium. The math doesn't work. The required concentrations far exceed anything observed in matter. Solar panels converting radiation. We measure the output power at a distance of 3 astronomical units from the sun, where sunlight has dropped to 11% of Earth's level. A photovoltaic system could not sustain such power at that distance. Nuclear fusion. Now that is technology, not nature. And if there truly is a fusion reactor inside 3ATS, then all our assumptions about this object collapse instantly. But the electromagnetic signature is not the most shocking discovery. There is something else the data revealed, something NASA has been hiding for 3 days while desperately trying to understand what they are seeing. Spectral analysis shows that 3ATS does not consist primarily of water, ice, and carbon dioxide, as we initially assumed. The main material of its outer shell, spectroscopically, is something indeterminate. The absorption lines do not match any compound in existing databases. They correspond to no molecule we have synthesized or observed in space. The closest analogs might be certain metallic glasses or amorphous semiconductors, but even these comparisons break down under detailed analysis. Without doubt, the outer layer of this object possesses properties that go beyond the periodic table, or more precisely, beyond our understanding of how matter is organized at the atomic level. As a theoretical physicist, I understand what you're thinking. Perhaps this is exotic matter formed only under conditions we cannot reproduce in laboratories. Perhaps interstellar space can produce compounds through pathways we have not yet considered. That is quite possible. It is the conservative position, but here is where that explanation begins to crack under close examination. The material is distributed extremely unevenly. Infrared imaging clearly shows patterns and lines separating regions with different compositions. In nature, objects do not organize themselves with geometric precision. Crystalline structures do create order, yes, but on the microscopic level, not across kilometers of surface area. Observations indicate the presence of manufactured panels or assembled sections of components joined together by visible seams, even after billions of years of cosmic exposure. And then there are these strange holes. They are clearly not craters and not irregular pits from micrometeorites. We see circular apertures, perfectly smooth openings reaching approximately 300 meters in diameter, precisely arranged across the surface to form a distinct pattern. 6 main openings arranged around the visible central axis, and 3 smaller secondary openings located at equatorial points if the object had conventional poles. When I first saw these images, I searched for natural explanations. Volcanic vents on icy bodies can create circular formations. Collapsed lava tubes sometimes form skylights on planetary surfaces. But 3 Atlas is supposedly a comet, not a geologically active world. And even if it were, the probability that 9 openings would spontaneously organize into a beautiful hexagon with such a precise and complex pattern is roughly 1 in 10 billion. The universe does not organize itself with geometric precision on its own, only under the influence of fundamental physics or a mind capable of intentional construction. And now let me tell you what happened next. This is where the story becomes truly disturbing. On October 21, shortly after the data, something genuinely changed. The signal, which had been operating steadily for months, suddenly altered its pattern. The frequency did not change. The power level remained constant, but the modulation changed. The signal that had emitted stable, unchanging pulses every 11.3 hours began transmitting something entirely different. Packet transmissions lasting approximately 37 seconds, separated by intervals of exactly 89 seconds. This continued for 11 hours and then stopped, returning to the previous baseline pattern. At first, the team assumed we were seeing an instrumental artifact, perhaps interference from terrestrial radio sources. However, after correlating the timing with data from the Large Antenna Array and the Very Large Array, all 3 observatories recorded identical changes occurring at the exact same moments in time. This was not noise, this was a signal, and it changed precisely when we aimed our most sophisticated instruments at it. As a physicist, I have spent my entire career working within a framework where cause and effect operate according to predictable principles. You apply a force, you get a response. You input energy into a system, and it equilibrates according to the laws of thermodynamics. But what natural mechanism allows an object to sense that it is being observed and change its electromagnetic emission in response? The only domain where observation itself alters the behavior of a system is quantum mechanics. But quantum effects manifest at the subatomic scale, not in structures tens of kilometers across. Unless this object is using technologies based on quantum principles at macroscopic scales, something we have theorized about but never achieved. Quantum computing, quantum communication protocols, entanglement-based sensor systems. We are now in a place where the distinction between natural and artificial becomes blurred and potentially meaningless. Let me say what many are thinking right now. If 3ATL is an artificial structure and a valuable technological artifact of a civilization, then why all this ambiguity? Why not transmit a clear message or establish direct contact? The answer is what keeps me awake at night. What if that already happened? Recall the bursts on October 21. The modulation, those 3 7-second transmissions separated by 89-second intervals. My colleagues at Princeton ran the numbers through every mathematical analysis, prime number sequences, progressions, binary encoding schemes, and we found something. The ratio of transmission duration to interval period equals exactly 0.41573, accurate to 6 decimal places. This number has meaning. It is the ratio of Earth's mass to Jupiter's mass, where Jupiter's mass is set to 1. This is not coincidence. This is not randomness. This is information deliberately encoded referencing objects in our solar system. This is a message that clearly says, we know the structure of your planetary system, we understand your cosmic neighborhood, we are not merely passing by blindly. These implications spread outward like ripples on water, and each one is more disturbing than the last. If Comet 3 knows about Earth and Jupiter, then it has studied our solar system in detail. If it studied us, then it observed us before we noticed it. And if it observed us while approaching, then our idea that we are the discoverers, that humanity is taking its first cautious steps toward recognizing extraterrestrial visitors, is turned upside down. We are not the observers, we are the observed. Tomorrow, October 24, or October 29, Comet 3 will pass perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun. For several weeks, we will lose visual contact as it passes behind the Sun's glare. During this blackout period, we will be unable to track what is happening, unable to detect whether it deploys probes from its hollow core or observe whether it performs the braking maneuver described by using the Sun's gravity to anchor itself within our solar system. But what terrifies me most is this. According to trajectory calculations, when Comet 3 ATS emerges from behind the Sun in December, it will not head back into interstellar space like ordinary comets. According to the latest data from October 22, updated models show it moving on a trajectory toward the outer solar system, toward Jupiter. According to predictions, the object will reach Jupiter in March 2026, precisely when the JUICE spacecraft will be conducting orbital insertion maneuvers. Either this is the most extraordinary coincidence in the history of astronomy, or it is coordinated action, planning, intent. Scientists are trained to follow the evidence wherever it leads, to build theories that fit observations rather than forcing observations to fit convenient theories. And right now, the evidence is leading us to a conclusion we desperately want to reject. We are not alone. We never were alone, and the visitors are not arriving as equals seeking dialogue. They arrive as researchers, ones who have been carefully observing us for decades, waiting for the moment when our technology developed enough for us to notice that they notice us. Atlas is not more dangerous than we thought because it poses a threat. I see no hostile intent, no signs of weapons, no aggressive maneuvering. What is worse is that it forces us to confront our cosmic. We were like children playing in a sandbox, convinced that our small patch of sand was the entire universe, unaware of the vast playground beyond our field of view. When the data becomes public, when NASA releases the electromagnetic analysis and material composition studies, when geometric patterns appear in headlines around the world, humanity will face a choice. We can retreat into denial, constructing elaborate and improbable natural explanations that require unlikely coincidences. Or we can accept the evidence and prepare for the future because something is coming. 3. Atlas did not cross light years, perform precise deceleration maneuvers, and alter transmission patterns just to wave hello and leave. It is not here by accident. And in 5 days during perihelion, which we cannot observe, we will learn whether its purpose aligns with our hopes or our fears. I will continue to monitor the data, analyzing instrument observations. And when Comet 3I emerges from behind the Sun in December, when we see its true trajectory, we will know the truth. Until then, all we can do is wait, observe, and hope that when first contact occurs, we will be ready. Because ready or not, the universe has announced that the era of cosmic isolation is over. Yeah.